And we're back. Again. Adventure Blur here. So, you watched my Raleigh SuperCon videos? You know that I got to meet Charles Martinet, which got me thinking a lot about the Mario universe. You see, Mario is very interesting when it comes to its in-game stories, because it either has a story or it doesn't. One minute you have something like Mario Galaxy or Luigi's Mansion, which have a good amount of lore. Next thing you know, you have a new Super Mario Bros. Game, or I don't know, Mario Tennis? Where it's just gameplay only. I mean, either way, the games are still great. But that's what makes it so interesting. It both has connections to each game, and keeps soft rebooting itself every other game, to the point where most people would just give up trying to connect the games. Or if they do it as a joke. Yet there is still certain ways that they connect, and one is by Yoshi, a classic Mario character, and the Koopas, another group of classic characters. In fact, Yoshi was originally meant to be a Koopa, but of course they changed that. Didn't they? Though Yoshi himself may not technically be a Koopa Troopa, there's still a lot of similarities between him and the Koopas. Enough to even say that Yoshi could be a distant relation of them. So, let's find out if Yoshi could be related to the Koopas. Starting with the obvious, according to the Super Mario history book that came with limited edition copies of Super Mario All-Stars, the saddle on Yoshi's back is actually his shell, which if you compare a Yoshi's shell to a Koopa's, there's a lot of similarities. I mean, outside the black lines on the Koopa shell, they're the same. Just take out the bottom of the shell and you would have a Yoshi saddle. The shell isn't the only similarity in design either. Let's take a look at the Yoshi's face. At first glance, it doesn't have that much in common with a Koopa, but if you look closely, it has a lot of similarities. Both have very large noses, though the Koopa nose always ends with a point when it reaches its mouth, whereas a Yoshi's is completely round. Speaking of noses, both the Yoshi and the Koopa's nostrils are designed the same. You could say this is just how the artist designed it, and you would be correct, but at the same time, Yoshi was originally a Koopa, and he was first made after the completion of the Super Mario Bros. Game. That's a 5-year gap between Super Mario Bros. And his first appearance in Super Mario World. So chances are that Yoshi changed a lot since then, and if you look at an early piece of Yoshi concept art from that time, he did. You know, the concept art looks more like a dinosaur than the real Yoshi does, and this was back when Yoshi was meant to be a Koopa. The real Yoshi still has a few characteristics from the concept art, including how his nostrils were drawn. So I don't think it's that far-fetched to say that this was just one of the ways that Yoshi was meant to be similar to a Koopa, and instead of changing as time went on, they kept it. Their eyes are also designed the same way, with them being above the rest of their head. Literally. Outside of the other species in Mario that are related to Koopas, no other species has this type of eye except Yoshi, which is surprising because there are a ton of different species in the Mario series, more than most people realize. Yoshi and the Koopas also have nearly identical cheeks, so really the only true differences between the Yoshi's face and a Koopa's face is the color, the point on the Koopa's mouth, and Yoshi's spikes, which is something Koopas lack, or at least most regular Koopas do. Come on, how could I make a video with Koopas in it and not include their great king in it? Yeah, Bowser. Bowser has spikes all over his back. The same goes for Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings. Granted, Yoshi's spikes are on his neck, not his shell, but it still shows that they both have them. And if you think about it, Bowser has hair where his spikes would be, and some Yoshis can't have hair, like the Kid Yoshi from Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door. So it probably just depends on the Yoshi or Koopa. If you still need more proof of the similarities between Yoshi's and the Koopa's designs, look no further than the Snooza Koopas from Super Mario Sunshine. You probably haven't heard of the Snooza Koopa, mostly because they're in only one of the episodes in Super Mario Sunshine, and that was their only appearance in any game. If you look at the Snooza Koopa's design, you can see their similarities between Yoshi easily. Their shell looks exactly like a Yoshi egg. And this video is a lore video, so of course I'm going to have to connect the game's lore to this. In Mario Sunshine, it said that the Yoshis lived on Isle Delfino in the past, until the Snooza Koopas began living there and the Yoshis left. Eventually, Mario confronts the Snooza Koopas at Peanut Park and stops them from eating the sunflowers there. Once Mario defeats them, Yoshi eggs begin appearing throughout all the island again. They could be predators to the Yoshi, or maybe Bowser sent them to get rid of the Yoshis. But why? Well, let's take a look back at the Yoshi's past, and Bowser's past for that matter. The Yoshis and Bowser have a history that goes back almost farther than even Bowser's history with Mario and Luigi. In Yoshi's Island, Kamek, Baby Bowser's caretaker, tries to kidnap Mario and kidnaps Luigi. The reason for this was likely because Kamek knew that Mario and Luigi could eventually become threats to the young king. After Kamek fails to capture Mario, baby Mario falls into a small island. Luckily, he was found by the Yoshis who lived on the island. The Yoshis decide to work together and take baby Mario to baby Bowser's castle to save Luigi, then take both of them to their home. After a few adventures, they make it to the castle and fight both baby Bowser and Kamek, saving baby Luigi and returning them to their home. This is where Bowser's grudge against the Yoshis likely began, because if the Yoshis are Koopas, they should have either helped Bowser or stood aside. I mean, look at the other Koopas. They follow Bowser's orders without question, and not only that, but they're as loyal to Bowser as it gets. In the Mario and Luigi games, they're always cheering on Bowser and helping him do whatever needs to be done. Even when Bowser is defeated, they search for him so they can help him bring the Koopa Kingdom back to its former glory. Even now, with the Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's minions, they go out of their way to fight anyone who gets in Bowser's way. This is actually another way Yoshis and Koopas are similar, their loyalty to those they trust. Like how Bowser's minions follow Bowser, the Yoshis work together and help Mario in countless adventures throughout the years. And Kamek would do anything to make Bowser happy. Like later on in Yoshi's story, he turns the entire world into a picture book for baby Bowser. So even at a young age, Bowser was used to loyalty from pretty much everyone he knew. When the Yoshis not only disobeyed, but stopped him, it probably drove him crazy. I mean, this was technically Bowser's first defeat. So up until then, he was used to getting whatever he wanted. Yoshis being related to Koopas makes all this make a lot more sense. As Bowser gets older, the Yoshis become more than just disobedient to him. As he gains more enemies, he still takes time to go after them. If they are related to Koopas, this makes us more than just a group that's against his rule. It's his own people. Instead of enemies, they're traitors. This certainly gives Bowser much more reason to hate them. In almost all of the Mario RPGs, there are different groups of Koopas who live peacefully with the Mushroom Kingdom, or whatever kingdom is around them. Yet, Bowser never goes after them. So the question is, if the Yoshis are a part of his kingdom, why would he attack them and not these other Koopas? My guess is because they never get in his way, or, even more likely, he goes out of his way not to send his armies around the area. I mean, if you were a leader, would you send your forces to attack a place where a peaceful group of your own people lived, even if it meant getting closer to your enemy? I don't believe Bowser is cruel or stupid. If he was, all these different groups of Koopas would likely have gotten rid of him by now. I believe that Bowser just knows what the Yoshis are and what they mean to his rule. A small but growing resistance. Even though the Yoshis only fight when they're threatened by him, he still fears what they could do to his kingdom. I don't think super deep stories or theories will ever work for Mario, but I just can't deny that sometimes there are connections there. And though they may not make or break the Mario series, I still think it's good to look into them, even if it just adds more depth to a certain character we love like Yoshi or the Koopas. So, once again, this is Adventure Blur, and I will see you next time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I had a great time researching the Mario universe for this video. It's not easy to research Mario, I'm gonna be honest here, but it was still fun to do. So if you enjoyed this video, check out some of my other ones, like my Splatoon video, where I go through these sunken scrolls from the game. They're weird, but it's still really interesting and really fun to go through. And another video you can check out is also my Chaos video, which was about the Sonic character Chaos. He's a very underrated and very interesting character, one that I had a lot of fun going through. Feel free to subscribe and check out my other videos too. So, here are the videos, Splatoon and Chaos. So, once again, this is Adventure Blur, and I will see you next time.